Hi guys, Romeo Hertz here again today to do One Piece chapter 709 review. Um, so, I mean, this chapter was no complaints. This was a perfect chapter from Odachi. It was really good. Was it great? It had a lot of reveals. Yes, it was great. But you know, this is what I expect from the new world. I'm really it's really good to see this level um, of action because I'm not really getting that from Naruto, and I really wanted to see something more, and I knew we would, but I didn't expect the. I honestly thought the chapter might the first block might this B block might not be over until next week chapter, but I'm glad it was, and I'm glad it had the ending it had, and we got a lot of action, a lot of detail, and well, I'll just go into it. So the first part is that we saw what happened to Hack's arm, and basically Bellamy just beats the shit out of Hax, just kicks him in the face, and Hack is out. And it's funny because Guts, I don't know, is really pissed because he was rooting for Hack. He didn't really want, well, it's obvious he didn't want Bartolomeo to win. I mean, Bartolomeo is he's a very antagonistic person, so I would understand. But he's the commentator. He's meant to show neutrality, so it was really good that he was getting really angry, and it's always good to see Odachi throwing in that kind of those character flaws and just always making each panel entertaining. It's incredible. It's such a fun. Anyway, next is where Blue Gilly wrecks Ricky. I mean, Ricky was he was a really decent fighter, but he says he couldn't beat time. He couldn't beat Father Time. He couldn't beat age, which suggests he's pretty old. We don't know what he looks like under that armor. He could be Kairos. He could be. I mean, he says he really hates Doflamingo. He hates the cheers, and it may be because we don't know. I think he was undefeated, but there was one time he got his shit wrecked, and maybe, I mean, if he got defeated, I don't think he would have been so uptight about it. But maybe Doflamingo, maybe Doflamingo came in at some point and just completely dishonored him in the game or in the tournament or something, and that's why he hates him so much. And there was the cheers as well. Maybe they cheered what he did to dishonor Kairos, or at least Ricky, and that's why he also hates Doflamingo. Doflamingo has a lot of people out for him. He's made a lot of enemies, but most Shibukai do have a lot of grievances, so it's not unexpected. So moving on, Blue Gilly is taken out. He's taken out so many people. He's probably the guy who's taken out the most people in this fight. But it was all set up. Dagama pretty much set it up so that he would probably be taking out all the guys around Dagama and his formation. And if any slipped by, they deal with it. But once the enemies had been defeated, before the forces could split up and then turn against each other, he sent them off against Blue Gilly, who took out most of them, and Dagama took them out from the back. So that way they wouldn't be a threat. But Dagama planned to take out Blue Gilly. But you don't fuck with Blue Gilly. He is a warrior. He's in the know, and he understood to always watch his back with Dagama. And no haki. Don't. It was just caution. It's just being cautious and those fighter instincts. And he noticed Dagama going for him, and he stops Dagama and kicks him out into the sea, and the little fighting fish just tear his shit up. I mean, it was good to see that that Dagama wasn't as cracked up as he thought he was, that there were other people out there who were smarter and stronger. Then we jump over to Bartolomeo and Bellamy. They're fighting, and Bellamy, no matter what he can do, no matter what he does, his spring ability is being used against him. No matter what he does, it just reflects back onto him. Or at least that's what's implied by the spectators. And Bartolomeo is in touch. He's finding it hilarious. And Bellamy recognises he must have a devil fruit ability. And until he can figure out what it is, he can't do anything about it. What was really cool, I think one of the best things about Luffy is how he can forgive grievances and feel sympathy and empathy for other people, particularly people who try a lot. And he felt that for Bellamy, and he actually cheered Bellamy on. And I was kind of moved by that. I gotta admit, that was very moving and kind of touching to see him care so much about someone who was his enemy, who had done terrible things to his friends, but they had moved on because he recognized that they were pirates, and pirates don't do good things, you know. They just do what they want. So I think there's respect, which later pays off in a way. But now the king. Now I did not expect the king to even get a shot off. I thought we weren't going to see it. But he gets ready, and he's ready. He's ready. Blue Gilly is ready to take him out. And the audience are shitting themselves because they're like, is it actually true? Did he actually punch through an entire fortress? Because if he did, then the shockwave will kill all of us as well. So they're like, no, we have to get out. We've got to move. And they start moving because they can sense the aura, the energy. It's like animal instincts. There's this fight or flight instincts taken over, and it's like, we have to fly. We have to fly now, or else we're dead. And with good reason. And before he can get it off, we see Bellamy has circumvented whatever ability Bartolomeo has, and has grabbed onto Bartolomeo. So he's reached Bartolomeo now, which meant that the fight probably would have changed. But obviously later on, you'll So the king then uses man, this is one dangerous motherfucker. He uses the king shooting moon punch. I don't know what that is in Japanese. I don't know. Anyway, he uses that, and the shot, the intensity, the shockwave, like when he hits, it's so powerful that the characters aren't even outlined. They're just about outlined, but they're really kind of sketchy because of the force of the blow. It just Ricky tries to block it with the side face of his sword, but it just snaps. It just doesn't work. When it hits Bellamy, he blacks out. It just knocks him out. Blue Gilly, you can't even tell. You know, he's barely an outline from the force of it. And Bartolomeo is also, but then the dust settles, and everyone's kind of surprised that the stadium, you know, wasn't blown away. It was damn powerful, because you can see Blue Gilly, you can see Bellamy, you can see Ricky, you can see everyone else. They're just in the water. I haven't seen any like fighting fish going over to beat the shit out of them, but still they're knocked out. But out of all the smoke, they're saying Elizabelio won. He took it, but just at the last second, someone says, "Look," and the mist clears, and you see Bartolomeo, and there's this kind of barrier, like my screen. There's this barrier just standing in front of him, and he's like, he's laughing his ass off, and I'm like, wow. I mean, we guessed that it was either Haki or a barrier ability, but I mean, what the hell? I mean, Bartolomeo didn't even look like he was straining, and he blocked a punch that bypass went right through and just right through to the other side of a fortress. Could take out could definitely almost knock out, at the least, one of the 4 emperors, or that's what it's implied. And if it had Haki, Luffy would have been shit. I mean, New World or not, I mean, but yeah, that pretty much happens, and it's like he takes it like it's nothing, and it's like, wow, and then Bartolomeo he says that this is called the Bari Bari no Mi, obviously Bari short for barrier, and basically he's blocked it, and he uses this thing called barrier crash, and I think what he does is he projects his barrier and it slams into a target, and it's never stated how big he can make these barriers. He could make it as small as this, so he can use it like a rifle or something, or really big. But considering how powerful it was to block an ability, I wonder how that determines how strong he is in terms of offensiveness. We understand we have a good idea about his defensive abilities, but how many barriers can he create? How can he project them? What are the limitations? What can he use? What can he not do? We'll have to see. And I really wanted to see more with the Bani Bani no Mi, the spring fruit. But you know, I got a fair amount. I wanted Bellamy to do more, but I knew there only had to be one winner, and I really didn't think it was going to be Bellamy. It was either going to be Bartolomeo or Bellamy, but I was pretty sure it's going to be Bartolomeo. Why introduce such an antagonistic character who we don't know much about and make him lose? It just didn't seem like it was going to happen. And Bartolomeo wins, and he says that the Mera Mera no Mi is going to be for that person. Who's that person? He's the pirate captain of his crew, so... And it's really weird because he doesn't seem like the kind of guy to bow to anyone. It's obviously not Doflamingo. So I'm really confused. It's obvious that Bartolomeo is the dragon, the second-hand man, but how deep this goes is a mystery. But I hope to find out soon. So at the end of this, you get a conversation with Frankie and the soldier. And they're pretty much talking about that the soldier's pretty much, the soldier toy is saying that he pretty much says that they've got a rebellion in the works to take down Doflamingo, which I doubt. I doubt Doflamingo will be that easy to take out. But the factory where they work has his comrades in it, so he wants to take them out quietly, and Frankie can't go in all gun-ho because of that, and probably because of some other reasons, because the soldier says he's going to tell him of the tragic history of Dressrosa. So it's going to be interesting. I'm ecstatic because I think it will answer a lot of questions as to why the country wasn't really that worried that Doflamingo had been usurped in a way, or given up his position. Why he's considered royalty in the first place. I didn't know he was from Dressrosa because he was in the Grand Line during Roger's death. So Grand Line, Logetown, well, whatever. Anyway, yeah. So this was a great chapter. I have no complaints. No complaints. It was perfect. It wasn't too good. It wasn't amazingly epic. It wasn't. There was so much detail and structure and consistency, and resolution. There was a resolution to this first bout, and I think there'll be maybe a few more chapters before we get onto the next block, just to check out the other Straw Hats, see what's going on, with what the other Straw Hats are doing, because, like I said, this arc might be, well, it's obviously going to be a saga because of Punk Hazard, but I expect that this arc is going to be pretty deep, pretty big, because there's a lot going on, and the Straw Hats are split up, and there's a lot, and handing over season, I just really am interested to see how this all plays out. So what do I give this chapter? I give this chapter perfectly balanced out of 10. It really was perfectly balanced. There's just no flaw. Nothing I could say could have been done better. It was perfect. Yeah, so that was Romeo Hurts for One Piece chapter 709 review. Thanks a lot, guys, for watching. Please comment, please rate, and obviously please subscribe. I'd love to hear some feedback, mainly just your thoughts about what you felt about this chapter and how you think this will affect the future of One Piece. And I'm really glad that the new world is living up to the hype, and it's just going to get better. So see you later, guys.